why do I want to help people who start a business? Why do I want to help small business owners? Because I understand starting a business is full of uncertainties, and because of such uncertainties, it is full of risks. And everybody knows that starting a business has risks because you don't know when you are going to lose all your money. You don't know when you are going to become bankrupt. You don't know when you will be able to pay off all your debts and turn things around. And I've seen business owners, I've seen entrepreneurs who worked their ass off for over a decade, but they can't even make $100,000 a month. They can't even make six figures a month. So what is the point of starting a business if you end up like this? If I were you, I would go back to working for somebody else. You know, at least as an employee, if you have the determination and the fighting spirit of a business owner, of an entrepreneur, if you work in a position at a company for over a decade, you can live a very good life. So I would say if you have been, if it's been a decade, if it's been over a decade since you started a business, but you still have very low income, you still can't generate revenue, or there's huge fluctuation in the amount of money you can make, you still don't have the awareness to fight against risks. I would say it is probably a good idea to give up, even because to some extent it means you are not suitable for entrepreneurship. Now, in the first couple of years of you starting a business, it is actually normal to lose money, and the feeling of anxiety and frustration, those feelings, those sentiments are normal, and it is okay to not have your not have a set direction. It is okay to not be able to bear risks. But after 5 years, 7 years, you have to have something. You can't let things go down that way. You should have started something. You should have had something, whether it's people knowing about your business, whether it's people really anything. You should have at least achieved something, right? And that is what I call a mature entrepreneur. That is what I call when most people speak of uncertainties, they think it is a bad thing. They think equate uncertainties with risks and losses. But I don't think that that is the right way to look at it. At least for entrepreneurs, that is not the right way. It is what a pessimist would. It is an opinion a pessimist would hold. Uncertainties, apart from bringing risks, it also means opportunities and luck and fortune. I'm pretty sure you know about this, but many people forget about this often, and oftentimes they need people to remind them of the fact that, uncertainty is not always bad. The difference between me and most people is that I remind myself often that wherever there are risks, there are opportunities. And wherever there are uncertainties, there are endless possibilities. Wherever there are losses, there there are profits to be made. And to me, the biggest advantage of uncertainty is that it may make you big, it may make you rich overnight, or it can change the course of your life completely within 3 to 5 years. And you can even be more fortunate than that. Maybe within 1 to 2 years, you can turn your life around. There are a lot of examples like this. There's a lot of examples like this. There's a lot of people who became rich overnight. There was a lot of people who became rich, who climbed up the social ladder by starting a business through entrepreneurship. And the majority of them are young people. It is indeed harder for elder people to do it, but there are successful examples. You might say I am overgeneralizing things. I am using a few successful cases to represent the majority. You might say that most businesses fail within the first year of them starting. And of course I know, but what I do is I never look at the cases of failure. I often say failure is common. Success is accidental. What is the norm? The norm is something that happens frequently, like starting a business and fail, going into debt, setbacks. These are the norm. And for norms like this, you should pay attention to them and learn from them, but don't dwell on them because nobody knows what's going to happen next. And what is bound to happen is something that will definitely happen once all the criteria are met. For instance, when an entrepreneur works on a particular business and he's going in the right direction And if after 3 years, 5 years, he's still going, then he's definitely going to be successful. He's going to be making a lot of money. That is definitely going to happen. And oftentimes there are no patterns to follow in the norm, but there are patterns, successful patterns, to be followed in the accidental, because the accidental is actually the result of consistent efforts. So what I mean is when someone first goes into business, goes into starting a business, being a failure, failing is normal. That is the norm, and it's going to happen all the time, especially in the first 2 years of him starting a business. And he would feel like everything is going against him. It would feel like the world is going against him. But if he doesn't give up, he's always encouraging himself to persist. He's always pushing himself to keep exploring, keep expanding his knowledge, keep improving his cognition, and he believes he's going to definitely be successful. And one day, on one project, he achieves greatly. He achieves a huge amount of success and made millions overnight. People think of this as being accidental. This is the biggest surprise that comes with starting a business, that comes with entrepreneurship. It is that after many, many years of working hard, when you are completely in despair, that is when things will turn around. And what you have had in the past blossoms into something great, and you manage to make all the money you can ever spend for your entire life. So what I always believe is that making money is not something that you should do for the rest of your life. It is some Money is always something that gets made in a short period of time. And what pushes entrepreneurs to keep going, it is not money. It is called a career. So what I hope is that entrepreneurs can accept the norm. They can pay great attention. They can emphasize on the accidental and work on what is definitely going to happen. And another great sentence I've heard recently is that when an artist friend of mine told me how they do art, and I think there's a lot of parallels to be drawn between doing art and doing businesses, which is that when people do art, they don't plan out the entire the result. So for instance, when an artist faces a blank wall and they want to paint let's say an elephant on it, they don't start with painting an elephant. What they do is halfway through it, when they realize what they're painting, what they have just painted looks like a bird, they would turn that painting into a bird. And as he continues, and if he realizes, he might later realize the painting looks like, let's say, looks like ocean waves, then he would turn that painting into a painting of ocean waves, etc., etc. So what I want to say is, in business, we don't plan out everything, right? Elon Musk used to say that when he started business, what he always does is he would um, make grand plans, but he would have grand visions, but he always plans small. And that is what I wish would happen. And in business, what I often see is people having great products and services, but they don't know why people don't come to them. So what I've done at the end of this video is I've prepared a free guide on how you can, the 8 strategies you can adopt to get free traffic, free online traffic to your website and improve yourselves and ultimately make more money. I'll see you in my next video.